So this is 100% map completion. 100% map completion consists of getting all the map tiles in the game. Not a very good start. But it consists of getting all the map tiles in the game. If you look at the top right corner, you're going to see map tiles filling in with pink as I progress. Every single map tile in the game needs to be filled in with pink. There are some certain areas, this room being a perfect example, to where you need to... Vanilla. Top cream. That's it. Thanks, Pseudo, for 6 months. Appreciate that, man. This room is the perfect example of needing to revisit, or you'll see later on with like Crocomire is one of the bosses. It's where we need to kind of either revisit or stay there until a cutscene or something is triggered. Yes, triggered. Where am I from? I'm originally from Minnesota. A boot. They're just like most categories in this game. There's nothing particularly special about the first 5 to 8 minutes. It's all pretty much the same. You escape series. You come down here. You get Morph Ball, missiles. We work our way up. We use Morph Ball to visit Bomb Treezo and get his bombs, and that allows us to escape and get to Green Bryn Star. Gotta keep an eye on my frames here, make sure they're not dropping. If we drop a little bit of frames, it's okay. We can deal with that, but that was too much last time. That's like a whole minute. So you'll notice that there's a door to the right after the missiles. We come back and get that later. There's also items to the left which require power bomb blocks. So we try to minimize the amount of time that we're in a certain area by only going there when we have the all of the required items to get all of the map tiles. Whoops. Kind of messed it up, but improvisation. That's Bomb Chorizo. He's not too tough. Bomb Chorizo is essentially just an RNG boss to where we need to rely on his drops and refills to kill him in one cycle instead of two like you saw me do. How many items do you plan on getting in this category? I plan on getting around 35 to 36 items. There are 100 items in the game. And we skip a lot of them. A pretty common question is, why don't we run a 100% item collection and 100% map completion and make it into one category? Well, the reason for that is when people created this category, it was kind of to get away from 100% item collection and all of the item fanfares. It kind of drives you mad after a while. And you don't even get to see all of the game. But with 100% map completion, you get to see all of the game. And you kind of get to like pick and choose what you want to grab, so it's very fun for routing and trying to optimize your time. Thanks, Paper Tiger. Here, we're going to go ahead and skip these items, just get what we need. Which is just the supers in this room. Like I said earlier, you're gonna see a lot of missed tiles, pretty much everywhere. We're kind of forced to come back through this area, so it'll be quicker to get those items or those map tiles when I have better items. What is that? Could be. Get a new one. The moonfall at the bottom of the red tower does save time. But it's also very difficult to pull off. guys didn't know, this is the game and category I will be running for SGDQ, Summer Games Done Quick. It will be from the 24th to the 1st in Minneapolis, and my run will be Tuesday at 10 p.m. CST, and that's this run right here. What I just did is something we call a create a quick kill. Normally there's a second row, but since we kill him, the game, I don't know what it is. I think the game just assumes that we got those tiles above there. So if you look, the top 2 tiles are already filled in for us. Same thing. In this run, we collect about, what is it, 7 or 8 E-tanks. The reason we do that is we could beat the game with 3 E-tanks. 3 E-tanks is the minimum that it takes to beat the game. But if we get 7, it allows us to do something called the stand-up glitch at Mother Brain, which is something that allows us to fire our plasma beam into Mother Brain during the time that the Metroid is normally like stuck onto Samus, which saves quite a bit of time. All right, see you, Pala. Take it easy, man. So Spacer saves time just in a couple areas with movements, which isn't a lot of time, but it mainly saves time in the wrecked ship. Oops. Mainly saves time in the wrecked ship. At bowling. We'll do a trick, and I'll point it out when we get there. It's kind of hard to explain. Yes. That's the one. Easy tiles to miss are right here. If you look at the map on the top right, you can see we have to fill those in. It's kind of annoying. Just the way the map is laid out. The baby Metroids gets killed, how does that trick save time? Because during that trick, what we're doing has nothing to do with the baby Metroid. It allows us to damage Mother Brain. When Mother Brain turns gray and the baby Metroid comes to latch onto you, give you health back, that's when it saves time. Because during that whole time, you can be shooting into Mother Brain, and that does do damage to the third phase. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Vaudeville. This run doesn't really get too exciting until later on. Some of the movement later on is pretty cool, and some of the tricks as well. Norfair's kind of boring, to be honest. Hi, Dank Meats. Hi, Pylons. Hi, Soul Blazer. Hi, Pop Rotten. Hi, Albies. Hi, Obsidian. So Krakemeyer is a pretty easy boss. You just keep firing. He will take 2 steps back. Sometimes he will do a clawing motion, which loses you a couple seconds. But if you get lucky enough, you only get a couple of those during the fight. So right here we have to wait. If you saw the top right, there was no map on screen. So we have to wait or else we cannot get those tiles. Then we run back over here, and this cutscene will start as well. This phase. No, right now I'm doing a video for a YouTube fan. Hey, thanks for the 30, Dank Meats. Yeah, now is a perfect time for a few donations from the chat. I'll take dollar bills. Thank you. Are you? I'll take it, man. I'll take it. This is the first room that's kind of tricky. If you're paying attention, I'm going to have to do some really weird movements here. Coming up. Not really weird, it's just... Gotta backtrack some. Whoops. There's a lot of rooms like this later on that require some kind of wiggling around. Some of them kind of boring, some of them pretty entertaining, so... That's the thing with this run is there's a lot of really cool strats, but there's also a lot of really not so cool and kind of stale rooms. Perfect. No, this category is great, Brian, but it's, you know, just like that, save station. You know, it's not, you don't do anything special. You just get the tile and turn around. The moment you step foot in it, Douglas. I removed the chat because I'm trying to do a run for YouTube, and you guys take advantage of that situation. Because you're Twitch. Uh-huh. Oh, I don't know, Raven. I don't know. So, one thing is, with this category, people ask, why don't I just grab the map? Whatever, like the map room. Why don't I just get the map, you know, so I can see everything? So that's why the rule is we have to make everything pink. So even if you get the map room, so you can see all the map locations and areas, we still have to visit every area to make it turn pink instead of blue. So it'll just be a waste of time grabbing that. You let go of run. Or you let go of shot. Sorry. You let go of the shot to do that, Douglas. Has everyone told you just to use the map rooms? Yes. All the time. Almost. I was trying to shoot the door right there and shine spark through it. It's a very difficult timing, but it does save you a good 3 seconds or so. How do you know the percentage of the map? So I've done this category enough to have the route down pretty well. If I miss something, it'll kind of be obvious, or the chat will yell at me. And I'd rather run the original version of the game instead of a modified version, which tells me the map count. How will they keep track of the map count? I don't think it's that big of a deal. So that was Fantoon. I killed him in 2 rounds, which is the ideal fight. And we got a really good pattern, which is a fast mid. There's a slow mid and a fast. Fast being the least likely, but 20 seconds faster than the slowest possible pattern. So it's pretty nice to get a pattern like I just got. We'll go ahead and skip these. We don't need them. They're kind of nice to have, but it's not necessary. I get the tiles east of the wrecked ship later on when I am done with Meridia. Actually, when I'm done with Lore Norfair. Forgotten Highway is a name that we gave the east of the wrecked ship because there's really no categories other than this one that require you to go that way, and it's not faster with any routing. So that's why we called it the Forgotten Highway. So that's a nice little nifty jump we can do between those platforms to get most of the top tiles. The trick I'm going to be doing next is going to allow me to shoot some robots underneath these spikes. This power bomb will get a Chorizo is holding a missile, and if you lay a power bomb, that destroys him, and you get to go underneath the missile pack. And those shots were hitting robots, so they keep going backwards, and they fall into the holes. So I don't have to worry about shooting them when I get down there, and it saves a significant amount of time. The reason I don't need to worry about missiles or supers right now is because I need to refill my items after the wrecked ship. It's pretty much mandatory that I need to refill my health. So it doesn't really matter what I use currently. See, I'm doing some weird movements there. I'm just trying to collect as many tiles as I can in that room. So that room is completed. This room is completed. We will be coming back through these areas. But it's faster to do most of this now. Yes, RBO does, yes. Do we refill? We don't save. Unfortunately, that refill is pretty much required. You skip it, you'll probably die, and you'll be short missiles and supers. Almost guaranteed every time. Definitely don't need a safety save. Yeah, hopefully I don't die to Fantoon again at the marathon. That'd be a bummer, a real bummer. So we'd get these tiles earlier, but we need Speed Booster to do these, so... right now I need to do... Not that. I need the damage boost on this first. Not like that, though. Kind of tricky. There we go. Normally you need ice to freeze those guys so you can run over. But if you charge it and you do a damage boost that I was doing, you can get across quick enough. Oopsie daisy. Good enough. You can short charge there, but it's insanely difficult to do so. Oh, so you're ever gonna main a different Metroid game? I've been playing Prime a lot recently. Need to turn this beam off because I need to use something called an X Factor, which allows me to damage Bot Swoon and Dragon quite a bit for faster kills. Yes, on GameCube, correct. Now we can clean Pink Brinstar up here, since we have Speed Booster. Is it allowed? Am I allowed to advertise my stream at GDQ? Well, I kind of am advertising my stream when I'm doing my run there, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just doing it indirectly. Is this the best Metroid ever? Yes. Yes. I'm doing something for YouTube right now, Ixion. And chat took advantage of that situation. Oops. So there are no more supers or missiles that I need to grab. I just need to collect 3 or 4 more energy tanks. No, this is not like a tryout video. It'd be funny if they did have tryouts, though. I can imagine that would be a pretty rough process. There we go. This is also only one of 2 categories which sees the best boss in the game here coming up. Everyone's favorite. Which is Spore Spawn. Spore Spawn is kind of the gatekeeper of super missiles if you were to play the game casually or normally. But since we do something called Mock Ball, once we get into Green Brinstar, we can get underneath those gates and get early super missiles. So we can skip a Spore Spawn entirely. You still need the map tiles? For what's that, Brain Art? Yeah, for this category, we need the map tiles, so that's the only reason we go and fight Spore Spawn. Yo, congratulations, Ixion. Is there an intended route? Yeah, there could be. People really wanted one. It'd be boring, though. The only problem. One of the more difficult areas of the game is coming up. Meridia requires pretty difficult movements and some pretty hard strats that if you miss, you lose a lot of time. Yes. Oops. I'm gonna try something here called Spark Suit. It's a double frame perfect trick, which allows me to store a Shine Spark. I missed it there. If I were to get it, I would be stuck in an animation. And that would allow me to Shine Spark across this entire room here. This one right here. What's up, Keku? Probably like 8 seconds. What's up, Quickie? What does double frame perfect mean? It means that I need to unmorph the frame that I take damage. And then I need to press jump 10 frames after that frame. If you're off a frame, you can miss it. It'll like show you the animation, but you'll still miss it, kind of. And then if you miss it like me, you're off probably a couple frames. No, I'm afraid I can't, Thomas. Why does the trick work? I'm not even entirely sure how that works. It just works, man. Essentially Douglas. There's a couple rules to it that kind of change that, but that's... Whoops, that's kind of the essentials of it. Yes, it's the same thing, soft. So this is Meridia. This is kind of the more stressful or difficult area of the run. If you get all the tricks and do it smoothly, you can be pretty far ahead, but it's also very difficult to do everything properly here. That'll work. Hey, K-Dove. Yeah, it'd be cool. But which one is the lengthiest category in SM? This one might be it, but there's some really obscure categories, like with some crazy glitching and stuff. That could be longer. But this one's an hour and 20. This might be the longest actual category. Oops. Not good. Wait, no. I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, it will. All right. Perfect. already got that room earlier. Power. Vanilla? Not too many at the moment. This category is kind of weird. Not a lot of people like it. So there's only a certain amount of rooms that you can miss tiles. Some of these rooms, you just can't miss because they're like single tiles. Single tile rooms. So we just kind of checked the main rooms later on. There also is a ROM hack, which allows you to see, but I don't run with that. It's not really necessary anymore. I've done the category enough to know the route pretty well. And I kind of know what I'll miss, if I ever do. Oopsie daisy. Get up. Yeah, I don't really need it. It's really good if you're starting off this category because it's kind of hard to remember everything. But once you've done it enough, you kind of just know what you miss, or like what you're even capable of missing, really. Perfect. So we kill Dragon with Shine Sparking, and that will give us a quicker kill and a blue suit. That's what this is here. I can't press run right now. If I do press run, I will lose it. But if I don't press run, I can save this and press down, and then I'll activate a Shine Spark for me. Whoops, I gotta skip this split. I forgot. Whoops. How did the blue suit trigger? Honestly, I'm not even entirely sure. I know it has something to do with just Dragon dying and you Shine Sparking into his face. His or her face. I don't even know. Probably her mother. I don't know. Is there a dispute of the best place to use? Not really. The best place to use it is where I used it, or else, because you can't run with it, so you're at a disadvantage the longer and longer you hold on to it. So you want to use it as fast as possible. So where I used it is the most optimal place. This is why we need Grapple Beam early. If we don't get Grapple Beam early, we will not be capable of getting these tiles right up here. Whoops, that's bad. This is like the perfect area for donations. Now this is like the perfect time to read chat. Gonna sit here for about 30 seconds. Well, this guy digs for you. Yeah, I already did that like a long time ago, Mr. Blue. Yeah, we already explained that a little bit earlier. There is no category which has 100% items and 100% map. That wouldn't be very fun. It'd just be this category except longer because we get all the items anyways, or like we see where all the items are. The morph ball. We're just cleaning up some of Murdia right now. Finishing what we can while we're here. There's a couple areas that we will not get until we're done with Lore and Warfare. Okay. We definitely don't want to grab those. Missiles are not necessary. Yeah, I will have fun. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think I've missed anything yet, guys. Have I? Hopefully not. They've been 6.66 seconds. Yes. So a significant amount of time in a speedrun. Over 6 seconds. I mean, we save 6 seconds every time we skip an item. So. All right. Well, you save a total of 1106. That's if you grab 0 items. There are 100 items in this game. We only get about 34 to 36 items that we collect in this category. We're a little ways behind right now, but that's okay. We're just showing off the run a little bit. 0% TAS? Is there a 0% TAS? Dude, that's gonna be awesome. Howdy. What's up, Condor? Yeah, this category is pretty sweet. It's more entertaining watching it the first few times. It definitely does get kind of boring trying to grind it out. It's definitely not as like entertaining as 100% item collection or 100% or any percent. I think any percent is definitely the most entertaining category that people like to watch. This is like a nice little tour of ZBs, you know? Yeah. Yeah, 100% items is really sweet because there's the tricks and the movement in that category are insane. Whoops. Yes, we will perform the stand-up glitch. So you get to see that at the end here. RBO is pretty crazy. So there's a category RBO, reverse boss order, for this game. Which there is an order in this game which the developers kind of wanted you to take, which is Kraid, Phantoon, Dragon, Ridley. But you can do that all in a reverse. A pretty entertaining run to watch. Very difficult to execute. Yep, and they complete that category, the world record currently is under an hour. Fighting Ridley first. I didn't really want those, but we'll take them. Yeah, there is a way to fight Mother Brain first, but in the reverse boss order, you just still fight Mother Brain last, because it's without heavy glitching. This is another one of those rooms where you need to do some kind of weird movement just to collect a few tiles. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. If you press down in Morph right when you're about to land, you can clip through those blocks, saving quite a bit of time. Oops. Good enough. All right. So Ridley's kind of a pushover in these categories with Plasma Ice Wave. Very easy to fight. It's like 20 shots. There it is. Pretty easy fight. So that's where the Metroid capsule was brought to. And as you can see, the Metroid is no longer there. So that's typically the last boss that you would fight. And a casual playthrough, so it's super cinematic. Because you finally make it to the last boss. And the Metroid's not there. Whoops, that's another split. I've not really thought about splitting too much. I think my favorite part of this category is this portion after Ridley. Just collecting the rest of the map tiles and cleaning up. Some fun strats to do in Viridia. And the movement looks really cool when you pull it all off properly. Yeah, it's pretty rare, but that can happen. Acid. Yeah, it's your room, dude. Time to lose 2 minutes. Oops. That was definitely intended, what I just did. I'm running Tuesday. Tuesday at 10 p.m. CST. No, that was not intended. I definitely messed up. Oops. That's not too bad of a run. See what kind of time we can get here. What items are the hardest to avoid picking up? Probably super missiles at the start. It's really hard not to grab an extra pack or two because that's really nice. Unless you mean like what are the hardest to like skip, like mechanically. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. So now we are going to finish the cleanup for Meridia here. Grab the rest of the tiles. There's a few over here that we need to collect, and a few on the way out. There is one other category that takes this route, which is RBO. So this and RBO, reverse boss, are the only categories that go to the Forgotten Highway, which we'll see here in a minute. Which is this area right here. It's never really necessary, but this is how you get into Meridia from the wreck ship, is this way. Almost. Yes, so we're going to be going to the back of the wreck ship here. The east side. Yeah, so we get to Meridia by using the broken tunnel, or the tube, like the glass. But if you don't know about that, if you're casually playing through, this is kind of the way you're gonna take. Oops. Very nice. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was entirely obvious on everyone's first playthrough, that glass points in Meridia. What did she get? Flowers? Chocolate? A grandchild? Ooh. So that's kind of the hint. There is a shattered tube. And I think that's why they put that there, to kind of show you. Like, hey. Like, this is here. You can break glass in this game. What I'm trying to do right there is, you heard the door open. That's this door right over here. That opens the door. It's called a wraparound shot. Kind of the way it works is there's like values, like the beam will wrap and keep. I'm not sure entirely how it works, but it screen wraps the shot. And it hits, like, the value of the door, which opens the door. Yeah, so I guess it's like shooting a copy of the door. Yes, it counts as the real door. Yeah, it's kind of the gist of it. And not too bad. Not too bad. It shoots the area of memory where the door is stored. There you go. Hey, puppy. So, that's Golden 4. We call it Golden 4 because it's required to make all of these statues golden. Or, not golden, but, sorry, not golden. They're golden when you get there, then you have to, like, turn them gray or whatever. So it's just the golden statues. There's 4 of them. Very clever, I know. So I need a certain number of missiles and super missiles in order to complete the game with any level of speed here. So I need to group these guys together. Like this, normally I'd be going through them much, much quicker. Oh, that's pretty nice. I had to shoot all of them. Necronation, thank you so much for the 10 months in a row. Appreciate that, man. So we need a couple more supers here. That's perfect. We need 15 and 10, so 15 and 14 is perfect. So we need 3 E-tanks in order to complete the game, Mr. Giggles. But we need also more E-tanks throughout the the run here, or else we'll die in certain situations. So we may as well grab an extra 3, which allows us to do the stand-up glitch. It's much quicker. So just grab the extras. What I'm doing here is I'm skipping this Baby Metroid. You can just kind of like jump rope it. It's a little bit tricky, but if you do that, you skip the cutscene to where you get latched onto for a decent amount of time. You can just go right to Mother Brain. Actually, before we're too stupid here, we need to turn this one pink. I almost forgot. I was getting ahead of myself there. But yeah. That's really bad habits. In every other category, you just skip that. It was close. We got it, though. What we're going to do here is called the Zebetite glitch. It's not really much of a glitch. We just clip through these. We freeze that bottom Rinka. So we skip the bottom, or the first Rinka. And if we skip that, it doesn't load all the other ones. So you don't need a ton of missiles to complete the game. Okay. So we're going to do something called the stand-up glitch here. We damage ourselves to a certain value. Got to run into Mother Brain very quickly, or else we could die during that scene. And jump during this next rainbow. And there you go. Now we can move around and this cutscene is started. Hey, Feather. We can't do damage until Mother Brain is gray. So once it's gray, you can start doing some damage. This is damaging the third phase of Mother Brain right now. I want to take a little bit of damage because I don't want to be filled up by the time or before this happens. That was a perfect fight. So it requires one shot. For the last phase. And then we get the Kappa beam. Kappa Pride beam. Moonwalk, you have to turn it on in the settings. So we can't really do this area normally. We have to go up here. Collect these tiles. Yeah, you have to buy the Moonwalk DLC for sure. Whoopsie daisy. So the last tiles we get here are above the ship. These ones, and that is the last. There we go. That is 100% map completion. I will be doing that Tuesday. Tuesday the 26th at 10 p.m. CST.